Raph, what did we
Yes.
do last time?
That's a good question. Well, let me check my comprehensive notes, of which I definitely took
Yeah.
and stored in one of many systems. And I'm hoping it was OneNote.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. My one line of notes actually did enough.
You took notes?
I took one line of notes because there was something that seemed really important, which was we found a guy with the patron saint of change's symbol branded on their face, murdered, and the symbol crossed out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of an important thing that happened.
Hey, that's my god.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's the worrying part.
Oh yeah.
Then we found a list.
Oh, you
in
spoke to a
the
bloke
guy's
by a
house.
tree?
And that was after we found the list
Yeah.
because it had our names on it
Yeah.
and that guy's name and the murdered guy's name and one other person, which I don't think we ever got around to talking because there was a shifty guy and we chased him and then we
Yes.
stabbed him
Yes. Yes.
a few times, if I remember rightly.
Yes.
We just won that fight, and I think that's where we ended.
Yep, that checks out.
The important question though is I don't know if we left anyone alive to question.
Ooh. Ooh, I don't remember.
Because I remember basically chopping one guy's collarbone in half. He ain't going to be around.
I remember having a halberd, which seems like not very many people survived.
Yeah.
What a merciful weapon.
I forgot to.
Oh no,
check
he
that.
did live.
That one, I think the last one you were just holding at the throat.
Or I thought they were
Atticus.
injured and receiving medical attention, or was that the other one?
No, that guy's unconscious.
Gotcha. So there's two. One's unconscious, the other one's being held at weapon point.
Is the unconscious one not bleeding out currently?
No.
Okay, good.
Giselle is tending to that one,
Ah, good. There we go.
and Madeline is guarding.
Almost slightly like we planned it.
This avatar has to be square, doesn't it?
Well, yes, unless you want it squished.
Let me find the best way to crop this then.
Well, it depends on what operating system you're using.
No, I mean the best way to crop the image is in, not as in the act of cropping it, but what looks most aesthetically pleasing.
So the framing.
The framing. It's all about the framing.
Right.
That just makes me look fucking Evig look fat. I'm not stand for it. I tried squishing it. It was like, oh my god.
So it's like long gangly legs, ball, and then the
Yeah.
head.
Okay, the picture I have is great.
I need to see this picture.
He's not fat anymore. I have undone the squish. However, only half of this image is Evig. The other half is weapon. And it's not even a halberd.
Not a halberd? Oh.
No, I didn't have time to Photoshop it into one. It's a spear. Where is?
I mean, the not having time thing is patently wrong.
All right,
That's this.
I had time. I just used it for nothing. I just accomplished very little.
Okay. How much longer do you think you'll need?
Not long. I've cropped it. I just need to get rid of the background. I tried using the cheat of set transparent color, but it didn't work. Because there's shades of white. It doesn't happen. Edit.
Well,
Nice.
last time I checked,
Oh.
white is white, so I'm guessing you mean shades of grey.
You know, you can get off white. Don't come at me.
Yeah, that's called grey. Light grey.
I disagree fundamentally.
Or it's white with a hue, but then it's no longer... I wouldn't call that white anymore. Anyway, we'll wait for that. So I'll just start painting the scene again while you go ahead. So, making sure that the recording is on, and it is. Letting my brain catch up. There it is. So, we find the five of you, the Atticus, Evik, Madeline, and Sister Giselle, and the guard, who Sister Giselle called in a narrow alleyway. One man lies dead, shoulder crushed. I think it was the shoulder, or it was. Was it the shoulder? Or was it the what's it called?
I think it was collarbone, wasn't it?
Collarbone. That's the one.
Yeah.
With a crushed collarbone, and a nasty wound. And then we have one body being stabilized by Sister Giselle heroically, like the good citizen she is. And Madeline is watching over Giselle, and the guard tells them to take the unconscious one to the physician in the town, and they do. They sort of quickly create a makeshift thing to pull the guy in and with, and they head off. And meanwhile, Evik is holding the last guy who's conscious at the throat, and the feet of the guy is, I would imagine, like 1 or 2 centimeters above the ground. And
Evik secretly tall.
And Atticus, what are you doing? What were you doing right before that?
I think right now I'm just staring daggers at the one remaining guy as I'm cleaning the blood off my blade.
The guard is. This is not the same guard as you met with the last session earlier. But he goes. So these are the yellow guys that was mentioned. I'm guessing they were after you. And they look over to you.
It appears so, officer. That'll be my guess for why they attacked me the moment I came around the corner. I'm still staring at this guy straight in the face. I'm not moving my eyes away from him.
Yes. Well, he looks at Evik. Let's take this guy to the guard's room and lock him up. We'll question him. And at this point, so he, like, I think he looks over at Evik. Put him down. As he sort of takes out a very like what appears to be like rather thin twine, and he binds the guy's hands behind his back, and sort of, okay, put him down, Evik. Oh, well, he doesn't know your name, but please put him down.
Is he tying his hands up while I'm holding him in the air?
Well, he starts doing it, and he sort of asks you to put him down.
Evig takes slightly longer than seems reasonable, and then puts him down. Just like full on staring the guy in the eyes, trying to burrow to his very soul with the glare.
The god doesn't see this since he's binding the hands, and he goes, right.
Evig slightly changes the color of one of his eyes. Very slightly, just to freak the guy out.
The guy is
It just doesn't show the pain. It's mentally painful.
So the god is finished and sort of grabs grabs the guy and goes, please come with me to the guard room so we can record your your version of the story, and they lead you off towards the guard room. Guard station, I should say. And once you arrive there, he leads you inside. The temperature is still high, but it is getting towards the late in the afternoon, and the sun is not as extreme anymore. It's starting to let go. He leads you inside. It's cool inside, and you see the god who met you at the body at the start of last session, and he goes, the yellow guys, and he sort of looks at Atticus and goes, wait, weren't four of you? The god chimes in and goes, one was badly injured. He said he's been taken to the physician.
He like turns around and is like, "Oh, I hadn't even noticed."
Feel slightly guilty about that.
It matters not. Thinks Evig.
And yeah, so they're going to lock the guy up, and the goddess wants your version of the story. What details are you going to definitely include, and what details are you going to omit?
I forget. We did tell the guard. Did we tell the guards about this list we found? I feel like
I can't remember the level of detail we went into.
I feel like it was one of those things we were going to get around to, but didn't.
Yeah, and I don't know if we
Because
talked
of the
about the
Half-Life.
brand either. Obviously, it's visible, but I don't know if they would know the significance of that. Is it a popular deity? Probably not super popular.
This is known. Like
Okay.
pretty much all of the gods are known, and popularity is.
Even to the common folk, they're very well.
I mean, the gods are the kind of thing where people don't look at the gods as people, but more like the gods as in the conduits. So people don't look at faces, but everyone knows that these powerful conduits exist, and that the people wielding them should be respected, let's say.
Yeah. Respected as in fear respected, or respected as in, hey, gods are good?
Usually not fear, because the even if the conduits are powerful, should the god or should the one start to misuse the conduits, you're going to get the ire of the people. And knowing that,
pissing off a god is generally seen as a big no-no.
yeah, in this, and it's generally seen as a big no-no among gods to not piss off everyone else, because other people can create, such things as the Sanguineous resolve, and it's kind of difficult to go up against that.
Gotcha.
But
I don't think there's anything in the story that we need to leave out. I mean, we just happened upon a murder, found a list of our names on.
Yeah, when we say that there's nothing we need to leave out, I think we should probably specify that we maybe downplay the fact that we literally just like a person, kill them.
Downplay, yes, certainly. All that happened is we stumbled upon a murder, which we reported to the guards, or more accurately, the guards also noticed the whole
Murder.
death thing. Yeah, we found this list with our name on, and like good citizens, we were going to hand it in as evidence to the guards. But we decided that we should probably, on our way over to the guards, warn that guy we know that's also on the list.
Uh-huh.
Little bit of spin there, but I think I'll be fine. And then we noticed, we noticed a guy that was very suspicious, and I went over to talk to them to ask them why they were staring at us so much, and they legged it. And I, being a curious person, followed. Right round a corner where there were 3 of them with swords, and they all attacked me. Thankfully, my friends backed me up, and we emerged victorious. Simple. Yeah. The tale of a good citizen.
yeah, it wasn't entirely truthful. I mean,
That's exaggerated truth.
That's how I remember it.
The god writer writes the thing. Do you have the paper? So
Evik has the paper.
Yeah, I think I have it. I will silently pass it over.
the god will take it, and you think for the first time he will actually sort of look you up and down a few times, like.
Don't look too carefully.
I give him a big smile.
Evik's like sort of shrunk back down to his normal self in the sense that he's, hunched over to be more that normal human height, the normal height that people tend to be. He's acting more inconspicuous than when he was holding a man off of the ground by his lapels.
Yeah. I mean, the god doesn't say anything; it just gives you this sort of squint, and you've seen it like hundreds upon hundreds of times before. It's the kind of squint where you go, it's the something is off squint. But after a few seconds, he like shakes it. It must be
Evik's going to interrupt the stare and be like, "These ones were sacrilegious." That's it.
Sacrilegious?
Sacrilegious.
And and he mind explaining?
The brand on the first one's head.
Yes.
Wasn't it crossed out? Just to check.
Yes, it was.
It was crossed out. Branded out. That is a mark of sacrilege. This is religiously motivated or entwined.
the guard writing it down like, oh right, especially after like reads the first name of the list. Oh right, that's the name. That's where I recognize it. Yeah, of course. Well, we will figure out why they did what they did. In the meantime, I recommend that you inform the that you still keep your eyes open in case there are more of them, and of course report any sightings to the guard. And this time, maybe not go after them if they lead you down a side alley.
I've learned from my life lesson, sir.
Evig like softly nods and says, "I shall keep all of my eyes open."
Dude, we talked about this.
The god just blinks once, twice. Good. But
I'm attempting to keep as straight a face as I can here and not give anything away.
and he goes, where in the town are you staying?
It's a good question, Evik. Where are we staying?
Yeah, I don't know. We hadn't got that far.
Well, if you say, well, let's put it this way: you have a point of reference.
Why aren't we staying opposite?
We were just
Opposite
staying
the
in
murder
a
place.
shack.
Yeah.
Why were we in the shack? Wasn't there a storm? Am I imagining that?
Yes, you are. It was
I'm imagining it.
during the noon sun. It's just too hot to
that
get
was
out.
it. Not, yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
you
I
only
just
go.
kind of weirdly I thought that was just some random room that we'd all just kind of barged our way into, and we're like, everyone's kind of chilled with it because of how hot it gets. So I didn't know if we were staying there or if we were just.
No, I imagine it as your sort of place, or at least you've rented it.
Okay.
It's not fancy, but it's a roof over the head.
Yeah.
I know I can't do it. Do I want to give that information? Sure. I'm not playing Dak. I'm still thinking as if I'm Dakara. Sure. I'll give him the rough area. I'd say my instinct to distrust the guards is too strong. No, I'll let him know where we're staying.
Yeah.
Where your first man found us.
Yeah, he is the first man.
Oh, where you found us.
Yeah. Opposite. Okay. And he goes, well, should we need any more information or clarifications, we'll inform you to come back. In the meantime, well, you're dismissed. Enjoy as far as you can the rest of the day.
And you too are dismissed. Walks away. I don't know why. That was heavily Dakara inspired. I can't help it. I can't help fucking with town guards. Oh.
I can't wait until it becomes literally. Because that would make a really interesting Dakara.
That's a whole rabbit hole that we can't go down unless Stuka's here, I think. That's a very Stuka-centric rabbit hole, I feel like.
Well, with Sister Giselle in there, maybe not at first. We'll have to ask Stuka what Sister Giselle's views on that is.
I just think Stuka's going to have some interesting views about all of the characters. I don't think it's going to stop at Giselle.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. So yes, the as you leave the guard station, the sun is going down. Well, going, yeah, it's would be sort of going down. It's getting actually comfortably. It's now getting towards the comfortable range of the temperature spectrum at only about 25 degrees Celsius.
You and I have different measurements for comfortable. still too warm. Shade, please.
Well, there is plenty of shade, especially since the guard station is pretty much right next to the small, not bazaar, but marketplace next to the, which is in turn located right next to the watering hole. And and yeah, it's now getting busy again after the warm, after the warm day. It's now cooling down, and people are getting ready for a usually cold night, as always. And
I have a question. How much does Evig know about your backstory?
My
I
one.
guess
Yeah.
I assume a fair bit.
Yeah.
You almost certainly know more about me than I do about you.
I thought you were going to say you almost certainly know more about me than I know about me.
That is also currently true.
Uh,
If we're honest with ourselves here,
interesting.
playing characters is a discovery process.
That is true. Evig's going to notice how clearly, visibly uncomfortable you are in this relatively temperate afternoon heat.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, "You are a long way from home."
Mm-hmm. Of course, depending on how you define home, that doesn't even exist anymore.
yeah.
That must be true. Though some say home is where the heart is.
Yeah, I'd have to find mine. I think I sold it for a pack of cards back in. Yeah. Anyway, I've got an idea. Let's do what the guard said not to, and go find some bad guys in an alley. I want to do more of the stabbing.
Acceptable. I'm curious as to their end and their means.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to get a few words with the prisoner before the guards hauled him off. Shame.
As was I.
So, right. So you want to find some more bad guys to slaughter? Sorry,
Well,
dispatch.
I mean, as fine, upstanding citizens, we want to assist our fine, definitely not bad guards. And in no way do I think that the guards should leave me alone and never talk to me. Fine, upstanding citizens that we are. Unfortunately,
you've got a bit of the Dakira about you.
Unfortunately, just wandering around going, "Hello, bad guys, where are you?" doesn't tend to work in my experience.
No. However, we do know the location of a potentially less well guarded, currently unconscious individual who may know some things.
I like the way you think. Shall we go check on our poor dispatched foe then?
That seems appropriate. Evic's really creepy this week. I don't know why.
You've been thinking. I know why. You now have um, the Kyra as your phone background. So you've always got her on the mind.
Takara wasn't creepy. Takara was...
She was
Shady-
creepy holding the
shady
skull
and-
talking with it.
No, she was shady and a bit sinister. I wouldn't say she was creepy. She's not speaking mysteriously in short. Like, Evig is definitely creepy this week. Especially.
Well, it's up for debate, but no matter now. So you want
I
to...
think Takara's creepy. Unbelievable. Yes, we want to go to the hospitaler. I don't know, whatever the local physicians where he would have been taken is.
So you go to set off. When Atticus, you recognize a small group heading through the crowd. Specifically, you recognize the person. It would appear to be a person with two guards, and you recognize the person. It was it was. You recognize him as Kalala. You recognize him as Kala, your former captain.
Evik, we need to go. We need to go now. Quick. I need to.
What is the matter?
You know how I said I had that problem with the
I am
whole.
aware.
Yeah. I'm just gonna point out the captain. He knows me. We need to go before he spots me. Please.
Stay behind me, and I'm going to unslouch and become a bit taller and a bit wider. Not just like puff out my cloak a bit or my clothes and try and shield Atticus from that direction. And we are going to walk in a way. We're going to walk away around some kind of corner where we can break line of sight.
Okay, you're trying to be clever. Roll for clever.
Some would say that. Some would
Evik,
certainly
have
say
I ever said you're really bad at being inconspicuous?
Oh, was it slash 1D?
4DF.
Sorry. 1DF plus. Don't worry about it. Plus 3. Smart. There you go.
Yeah. So Kalala looks is definitely looking in Evik's direction. Even
Who
more.
isn't?
Evig's gonna stare him down a little bit. And while he's staring him down, because you can't see his face because it's currently covered, he's going to continue speaking to Atticus. And he's going to say, "Do not fear. You have been given purpose. You shall not perish here." That would be unwelcome.
Kalala is going to go with his going to continue looking at Evig as they walk past towards the guard station. Seeming interested in Evig, but but he's not paying attention to Atticus behind. And he walks straight. Basically walking beeline taking a beeline towards the guard station. not stopping, and he then walks in. One of the guards stays outside, and yes.
I want to duck us behind a corner so we can talk out of line of sight of, or like so Atticus is like behind the corner, but I can keep an eye on the guardhouse.
Okay, you want to stay and keep watch.
I would like to, yeah, but with Atticus out like behind a corner so he's not visible to anyone leaving the guardhouse.
Yeah,
So we can have a conversation.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's easy enough to find a corner if you're just worried about one angle.
Yeah,
That's
Terrible.
fine.
Right. We need to leave. We need to get out of this town. I can't be in this town anymore, Evie. I can't. I need to leave.
He is but one man.
He's a man with an empire at his back, with a whole crew that could be anywhere around here, and they all know my face, Evie.
But what is his purpose?
I don't know.
He too is a long
He
way
shouldn't
from
be
home.
here. The whole reason I came out here was because none of them would ever come here.
Would they follow you?
I don't know why else they would be here. He commands a ship.
This is an awful lot of trouble to go through for a simple desertion. Tell me,
I mean,
have you told me the whole truth?
yes.
Big,
yes.
long, dramatic stare.
I mean, there was.
He gets slightly closer to you as well, makes you uncomfortable.
There was one person that found me, but he didn't go back to the ship. He was never seen again after that for whatever reason. I don't think he could have said anything. As far as I knew, they thought I was dead or kidnapped.
It seems...
But they're here. They're here.
curious.
But we've got this group of people that wants us dead, apparently, and we've got him. Well, we should just leave. We should just leave. It would be easier for everyone. You know, is there a reason why we're in this town?
There is always purpose. And there is purpose to being here.
I hate when you do that, Eric.
We will return to our abode,
Okay.
where we can lay low.
Okay.
However, we gave the guards our address. So...
Oh God! What if he investigates?
Kyra! She knew!
God.
Therefore, perhaps we do not enter the abode, but keep watch to see if any of the crew appear, and if so, we can confirm that they are looking for either you or myself.
Okay.
Atticus, from you spot in the crowd, also heading pretty much as straight as possible towards the guardhouse. You recognize your former first mate.
Atticus, please stop peeking around the corner.
Oh. Why are they both here? What's happened?
Alright, I need some more details on this ship.
It was
Sorry,
a.
I need some more details on the ship.
What's to tell? It was a ship. It was just a. wasn't particularly big. There were 70 of us, mostly oar rowers. We we stopped. We stopped merchants and ships and investigated them and did all customs checks, stuff like that. And the whole occasionally some of the pirates weren't actually pirates that we attacked that I told you about.
Out of character, it was definitely a sea-going vessel, correct?
100%.
100% sea-going vessel, and we are currently in a desert.
100% in a desert.
Both those facts are correct. Good.
And
And
I
I will,
haven't.
I,
Sorry.
I will point out that the ship they were on would definitely be larger than the small watering hole that is nourishing this small town.
As in, it is bigger than the town, or it is bigger.
It's
And the
bigger
well.
than the water. It's bigger than the water hole.
Good. Okay.
It's not a
I
toilet
was like,
sitting
I was
in
like,
the well.
oh my god, you were a crewman on the Sanguine Souls? Why didn't you tell me?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that big. It was quite cramped, actually.
So if you can see the person, you can see the first mate walk in, and after a few moments, both he and the captain walk out with the two guards in tow, but back towards where they came from.
Is back towards where they came from in the direction of where we're renting.
No.
Good. It seems they have moved on for now.
Okay.
But you should still take care.
I should probably buy a face covering or something.
Yeah, can I... Now, I'm wearing many layers. Or some layers. I'm not going to say many, because it's hot, it's a desert. Do I have I mean, I have obviously head wraps, but they're covering me. Can I? No, I don't know. Most of it's used for disguising me. I was gonna give you an item of my clothing, but then it's more. So I'm just gonna attract more attention.
I mean, we are next to a market. I'm just pointing out.
That is true.
I don't really need to. You
That
can't
is right.
overthinking this.
I think you are correct. Yes, we should cover you, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe some slightly more deserty clothes.
Yeah. What's the funding situation around here? Do we have money?
Well,
Not a lot, I shouldn't think.
no,
You're a deserter, and I'm some kind of wandering apostle.
I will say this: I would consider you to be able to sort of fund, like the
A
sort of,
simple shamar or something.
yeah. I think I'm going to sort of do resources in a sort of step. So the more you have, the higher up the ladder. I'll fix something, but for stuff like a piece of cloth to cover your face, at least at least cast shadows over your face, so it's not as recognizable. That you can.
You know that scene in Thor Ragnarok? Where Thor just gets that bit of cloth and just go, and it's like, is that your disguise? And he pulls it across his face.
That is.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's just like a piece of cloth hanging over your head that you can cover your face.
Pretty much.
Yeah, gotcha. Nailed it. In tan though, desert colours obviously.
But
Atticus, where did your head go, Atticus?
That should be so funny.
But yes, you can. After a few minutes, you can easily find like a hat to cover enough of your face to be less conspicuous Of course, if you want, like a really good, well done, properly made, then you need to A, find it, and B, find a way to pay for it, because that will be more expensive.
Nah, this will do for now.
Yeah, nah, it's just some local
Alright.
cloth.
And shall we proceed with the original plan, just in case? They don't seem to be heading in that direction, but
Yeah, that would be great. That would
okay.
help
I would
stop
like
my heart
to.
attack.
I would like to proceed carefully. I would like to keep my head on the proverbial swivel.
Mm.
I'm so glad you didn't say literal.
Yeah, you think's actually part owl?
Okay, so
The spine snaps and reforms and snaps and reforms and snaps and reforms. Like a rat.
I would consider that to be one of a major reconfiguration. That would be
Yeah,
more,
that's not serious, yeah.
uh,
I'm not gonna make Evig ratchet his head around 360 degrees.
I mean,
Very
but
conspicuous.
at the same time, given a few months, I can see your head being on backwards. If you will.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm alright. Evig likes his head being forwards. I would like, however, to be very gradually, slowly over time, changing that eye back to its normal color. That I changed dramatically to spook the guy. It wasn't a massive change, but he's trying to do it with as little pain as possible.
Okay. So you're trying to sneakily sort of get back to your abode.
Sneakily or carefully, because I'm not. I mean, I'm not trying to hide myself in plain sight. I'm trying to be careful for other people around us. I guess Atticus would be sneaking.
Yeah, so I should roll a sneaky.
Yeah.
I mean, my sneak and my careful.
I've got a question.
are
How
the
does
same, so
how does Atticus sneak around in?
Well, using carefully timed tactical roll. No, no. It's just kind of altering himself, making sure his face is covered, keeping his head,
hiding behind Evig.
making himself unnoticeable. A lot of the work is done by standing next to Evig.
Indeed, since Evig has rolled so well, that's like, yeah, that's as good as you can get. So you have a boon, I think it was.
Haven't stolen any dice. That's the key.
But yeah, so Evig has a boon that basically for so to that you can invoke in case someone sees Atticus.
Excellent.
But it doesn't seem to no one seems to sort of point to sort of look towards to a few, at least not more than normal. However, Atticus, looking shortly towards where the captain was leaving towards, you recognize the unmistakable silhouette of 3 masts
Oh no! Oh
behind.
I knew it.
What the fuck?
I knew it.
What?
I didn't know if technology had advanced this far. It has.
I don't. But that's not how boats work.
Atticus, please keep up. Atticus, what are you doing?
Have you seen the masks?
Oh.
What? We should leave. Let's go. Let's go hide.
That answers
Yeah,
one question,
that answers that.
but asks several more. And then we proceed. After a bit of staring at the mast.
Yeah, so Atticus, you wrote. You can see that even though it's 3 masts, it doesn't appear to be like a standard configuration.
Yeah, it's not what I recognise as my ship.
No, it doesn't appear to be your ship.
Yeah.
3 masts has got to be a fairly sizable ship though.
Yes, that's a pretty big one.
What's the distance between the masts? Are they like in a linear line?
I mean, oh, you mean like
Like one front, one middle, one back. Would that be a safe assumption to make by the masts that I can see?
Yeah, like ship of the line type configuration.
Yeah.
um,
Or are they in like a triangle? Or are they?
they are right behind each other, but Atticus, you can estimate that even if it would be a long ship, it would definitely not be a sort of very like it wouldn't be a very large ship. So as in voluminous, just simply because the masts aren't long enough to sort of they don't stand up far enough to sort of be.
Interesting.
All right, so very short masts. That's interesting and very different from what I know of how ships work.
Hey, you don't know how ships sail in the desert.
That is, yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Maybe that's why it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole. I mean, it would make traveling through the desert easier because the whole walking was killing me. But it's also very scary.
Would seem your old crew has found itself a new hunting ground.
Yeah. Let's hope I'm not the prey. Right, hiding. Let's focus. Really don't want to be caught now.
Alright, yes, we would like to hide away.
Yeah. So you want to hide near the near your abode.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that house that the guy got murdered in, like,
Is it up for
cordoned
sale?
off? Is it cordoned off? I doubt anyone's moved in just yet.
No, I mean it's the mark of the gods is still on the house. You can't see inside.
I would like to try and enter. I'd like to try and open the door and peer in.
It appears to be blocked.
Interesting. From the inside?
No, from the outside you can see
Locked or locked?
a bit of both. There is the key per se, but there is a sort of locking. There is a way to sort of put a bar to sort of block the door from opening from both the inside and the outside, and that has been sort of done. And then there's been nailed a short piece of wood, sort of block with wax on it to prevent someone from opening it without the seal breaking.
Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna work. I suspect if we snuck in through a window or something, people might notice.
Is there anywhere else around that looks like a spot in shadow or in shade where we can surreptitiously sort of hide away around a corner, but we can peek out and see the front of where we were staying? It's afternoon, sun's getting a bit lower, casting shadows.
Yeah, but yeah, you can find it.
Neat.
That.
Then
It's
we will-
I mean, it's not. I will say this: you can find a place if you want it to be a good place. You know, where you can definitely have an advantage, or that, or then.
Well, Evig isn't trying to hide. He's just trying to make sure Atticus is hidden.
Yeah.
Evig's just loitering.
But
Oh,
what?
could I use my boon
To
to
sort of.
find a place that would give us some kind of a advantage, like some kind of, it just happens to have like a good view down the street, so we'll see anything that looks suspicious coming from a distance away, or somewhere that's got like a nice
No,
retreat path.
the boon would be more hiding Atticus. You know, helping Atticus not get spotted.
Okay, can I find a nice little nook? Is there a building with like a like I don't know, a bit where Atticus could tuck himself away, where I could obstruct most of him, or he could be essentially invisible from that location?
Yeah, that would be. What would that be? I mean, you're trying to be either careful or clever. Finding that, or sneaky if you know, hiding
I
away.
mean, I'm not. I mean, yeah, Evik isn't too concerned with hiding,
Yeah.
but I mean, the boon was from a role of careful, but I guess it's is it clever because he's trying to work out the best spot.
Yes.
Okay.
And
He's not trying to do it carefully. He's trying
Yeah.
to do it smartly.
yeah. Since you're sort of trying to hide Atticus away, the boon would apply, so you can activate it.
Do I have to do anything to activate the boon?
Well, if once you do, you can choose to get a +2 on the roll or re-roll.
Neat. I'll just +2 to that.
Very well. Wait a second. Manouche.
Oh, desert ship.
Desert ship. I should have known this was going to happen. Should have known.
The first thing I thought when your captain showed up was like, "Oh man, the boats have made it onto land." Oh no.
I also feared that. I hoped it wasn't going to be true because that makes running away harder. But because where do I go now? Do I go to the mountains? I don't want to live in the mountains.
Airships.
Crap.
Yeah, so right. So I want to know, how long are you going to stay there? Because the temperature's dropping quickly as soon as the sun goes down behind the horizon.
That's a good question.
Just until nightfall.
Yeah, we won't be able to see anyone in nightfall anyway.
After a while, two people walk in through the into your abode. You recognize them as Madeline and Giselle.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. Those guys.
Yeah.
Totally didn't forget about them.
No. All right. Well, yeah. As night starts to fall and it starts to get chilly, I will.
Yeah. My
say
paranoia will
the
see.
coast is looking
enough.
fairly clear, and we can head inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so you meet up, and they go to bed very quickly, and unless you want to do something more, I'll cut it to the next morning.
Yep, nap time.
Yeah, sleepy, sleepy.
Right, we fade out to black and fade into a new day. And both Madeline and Giselle are taking a longer nap today.
I wanted to ask one of them a question.
They worked hard patching up well, at least Gazelle, I assume, worked hard patching up the guy we stabbed.
Yeah, I want to know if he said anything.
Yeah, we'll find out later.
Probably didn't. Giselle isn't the interrogatory type.
No. Right.
Alright. How do we proceed this day? Clearly you want to leave.
Yeah, that is my overriding thought screaming at me right now.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
that
I
does
know.
not seem to be the path.
Yeah, I know. But we need to find out about these guys, don't we? Should we still go interrogate that guy? I mean, like you said, Gazelle's not the interrogating type.
It may be worth a venture.
Yeah, I don't think we've got any other leads at the moment, unless we want to find the other guy that was on that list, because there was one more name, if I remember rightly.
That is true. I also remember not knowing anything about him.
Yeah, that was the only
He
thing.
may be difficult to track down.
Well, I've got a question. Do you remember his name?
Nope.
Yes, because you put it in chat.
Was that the first? Did you put both of them in chat?
Yeah, so we had Dissos crossed out, Aria, which I don't actually know if that's... Crap! No! How dare you! How dare you delete
don't-
that as I'm reading it!
You don't have the list.
Crap! Right, I remember the two names we don't care about, and then Laurie was on there, and then me and you, and then the one name I can't remember now. So that's a dead end.
do we go and find? Do we go and find the guy we found yesterday and be like, "Hey, do you remember that list I showed you?" All right. Okay. Option 1. We go and interrogate this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
Do we have other options at this point?
we may have to inquire with the guards as to the list and the whereabouts
Which I would
of the other
not want to do.
I am not inclined that way either. They are largely useless.
Yeah. Right. Let's find where he ended up.
And you never know your luck. The ship might have sailed already.
Oh, if only. If only. As long as we don't start seeing posters with my face on around. Because then I'll be leaving. Right.
So those masts, we only noticed them post all of the other events. Would it be safe to assume that that means it would have rolled up like following those events? It wasn't here before the murdery of the branded guy. Would we have noticed?
Sorry, I had to... I'm getting a stuffy nose. What did you ask?
Would we have noticed if the ship's masts had been there like around the time the first guy got killed? Or did it presumably show up later because we didn't notice the 3 masts?
You did not notice it beforehand.
Are they obvious enough to the point where we probably would have noticed?
It's hard to tell. If someone was looking in that direction, it wasn't obvious beforehand.
Okay. Evig is going to muse and hope that they aren't connected. Atticus, I have a question.
Okay.
Your captain.
Yeah.
Did he have any... What is the word I am looking for? Motivations beyond simply financial concerns?
Not to my knowledge, but I wasn't exactly as confident.
Nothing... No. Quite.
I mean, I might have missed something. I mean, it turns out in hindsight, I missed quite a lot when I was on that ship, but... You know, there was some telltale signs.
I thought it was the sea. It was the desert all along.
The waves,
You're
upon waves upon waves.
You're blue-brown colorblind.
I've just been told about, you know, when you get sea sickness, it makes the sea look like the sand, and I assumed that's what I had. No, I was definitely on the sea.
That is comforting to know.
Yeah. No, unless, I mean, he could have got moved to another posting. I mean, it's not like he owned the ship. He was stationed there like any other sailor.
I think that is fair to assume.
The same time,
desert ships are not very common.
No, I would have thought
out of character GM question. Just to check.
Large ships are practically unheard of. You know, one or two like stories mention them, but most people have never seen one.
We're aware that they exist
In the desert.
But they are not common.
No.
You've spent a lot of time in the desert, so
I mean, stories.
He has never seen them before.
I mean, it's the kind of thing, you know, it's the kind of fairy tale stories that have a kernel of truth behind them, but they're all sort of smaller, smaller. Well, I wouldn't call them ships, maybe boats, a single person with wheels on them that can go along in the desert.
But a ship like this is very strange.
Yes.
Your captain at the helm of a ship like that. You must be in favour.
It certainly seems like a step up to me. Except for the whole desert part.
Quite.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our ears open. Maybe someone's heard what he's doing here.
We can always inquire.
I'm not sure I want to be the person that's going around town asking if anyone knows why that ship's here.
I'm not sure asking why a ship like that is here would be considered odd or strange in the slightest. I have a feeling most people will be talking about it.
Well, you are welcome to ask. I'm just gonna stay away from it.
As you wish.
Right. So go.
Head out. Go find the infirmary. Yeah?
Yeah.
Plan?
The infirmary?
Sounds good.
Or, you know, wherever the unconscious guy was taken. I couldn't think of that name for it.
Yeah. Hang on. I think we're going to cut it short today because my nose is getting really...
Yeah, you did have a slightly different voice.
Yeah, it's getting...
Very deep.
It's getting stuffy. But we can
It's very
continue.
gruff and kind of sensual. I've been enjoying it.
Thank you, thank you.
Ah, there it is.
We can do this maybe later as well.
Everyone must now have deep voices.
Yes.
The problem is that my voice doesn't go much deeper than this.
Nor does mine.
I'm not even going to try that.
I've worked out why. I've just worked out why Evic has that voice. I just worked it out.
Oh?
I was listening to an audiobook last night, and it was Flight of the Eisenstein, which is like the 4th book in the Horus Heresy series.
Oh, yes, yes.
And the audiobook is read by this guy who gives every single Space Marine a voice like that.
Sounds
That's
about
why
right for Space Marines.
that's why it's on my brain. That is why he speaks like this.
Ah, so Evig is a space marine.
Evig is now a space
That
more
explains absolutely nothing at all.
No, that asks more questions than it answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get down that route.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What?
yes.
Yeah, anyway, thank you for freaking me the hell out today.
The absolute panic in your voice was great.
Really wasn't expecting that.
So
Which panic is roleplay and which panic is real life?
Yeah.
No one knows they're the same.
yeah, we'll cut it short today because oh boy.
Where are all our friends?
Well, we'll continue it next time. Since you were just heading out, it's pretty much a perfect time for Madeline to wake up and Giselle to keep on sleeping,
Perfect.
probably.
I can ask them questions.
Yes. And I'll see if I can find some more guys willing to play.